Hey there, and welcome to episode 67 of Cast Reflect. I'm your host Josh, and I'm joined as always by co-host Connell Luke the Truth Jennings.
Howdy ho!
Fucking first take. First take, mate.
Banged it out.
It's like we've not been away. It's like we've not even been away.
Yeah. Where have you been?
Well, we've both been in Japan, haven't we? But just at different times. Well, not at different times, for different lengths of time, but we were there at the same time.
We were there at the same time.
Completely accidentally, but it was great, wasn't it? It was great.
It was really fun, mate.
Yeah, we've been away, mate. We've been away.
We met up whilst we were out in Japan, in Shibuya.
We did in Shibuya.
The setting of Ghostwire Tokyo, which was recently free on PlayStation Plus.
Straight into video games. We love it. That's what we do. It's what we do. Yeah, we've been away. This will be, I don't know, 6 weeks probably. What time this goes out?
What did we do?
6, 7 weeks.
What did we do in Shibuya?
We did karaoke. It's the first time I've done it properly, like properly.
Private,
you know
private room.
Yeah. None of this sat in front of fucking 20 people you don't know.
Yeah.
Like private room. Also, in the same karaoke place, I found out as well afterwards, in exactly the same karaoke place, they did the karaoke scene in Lost in Translation as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's
karaoke
pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, in Shibuya, which I just saw.
Oh, love it.
I know, it's just amazing.
5 hours we spent in there.
Yeah, me and Carly we went to get a drink before we met you guys because you were having some food in Harajuku, and then you were like, yeah, no, we'll ping you our location, we're going to go do karaoke. So we were like, oh fuck, let's go and get a couple of beers before.
Yeah. And
we were going to Disney Sea the day after, so we were like, right, we'll just have a couple of beers, we'll go and meet Con and Amelia and his new starters, have a couple of beers with them, and then we'll just call it and it'll be fine. Just ended up getting absolutely fucking hammered.
Unlimited drinks, mate. You don't pay for the drinks, you just pay for the time.
It's ridiculous.
Insane. We were there for 5 hours. It was international set as well. There were songs from Korea, songs from Japan, songs from England.
Yeah, it was everywhere, mate. It was everywhere. We did around the world. We did a world tour. We did some duets as well.
We did
a couple of duets.
I brought the tone down really with the Verve. The drugs don't work.
It was, but it was early enough that it kind of
wasn't sad.
It didn't. It wasn't like the second to last song. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. I loved it, mate. I loved it. We loved it so much actually that we went and did it again, like on our second to last. Like the last week we when we got back to Tokyo, we went sake tasting.
Okay, yeah. What did you think of it? Because
I liked some of it. So we went to this place in Shinjuku, and it was basically 15 quid per person.
Yeah,
and it was just unlimited sake for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
and you go up and you they give you a little tray and you pick three drinks. I like 3 cups. Sorry,
yeah.
So like a small, a medium, and a large cup, and then you just help yourself. Some of it I really liked. Some of it was just horrendous. I was basically going on a smell test, so I would smell the sake rather than read the label, and then I'd decide whether that was going to be the big cup. And then the ones that smelt really alcoholic just went in the little diddy like sake cup.
Yeah.
But we ended up getting pretty hammered, and we were like, fuck it, should we go to karaoke? And we went and did karaoke for a couple of hours.
Did you get the anti-hangover pills?
I tried the juice. It did nothing.
What? Oh, mate, it worked for me.
To be fair, though, I drunk it. So they had it at the karaoke place, like when we were paying. And I was like, oh, are these the hangover drinks? And the guy was like, I'm not sure what you mean. And I was like, as I translated it, and he was like, yeah. But I was already quite pissed at that point.
Yeah, you're meant to take them before you start drinking, I think.
Yeah, because I woke up the next day with a cold and a hangover, and it was fucking horrific. But it was really fun, mate. It was really fun. We had a great time, didn't we?
It was wicked, mate. I loved it. I love Japan. It's honestly, I'd love to go out there for a couple of years.
Oh my god, yeah, it's the best country, isn't it? Everyone's just
it's just like respect first culture, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just everyone's so nice. Like you hear about it. Do you know what I mean? You hear about it, and then you go there, and it's ridiculous how polite everyone is and how respectful everyone is. Like, even just like, being a British person, like well, not all of us, but it's quite, we're quite polite, aren't we? As a
some,
like traditionally, I think British people were quite polite, and I'm always very courteous. Like, even just letting someone go first on an escalator, and they're like bowing. It's like, it's just so nice. Like, no one's in a rush to go anywhere. Either.
Customer service is insane out there. Like,
customer service and hospitality is
so insane. Another level. So good.
It's another level, mate. Like, you get thanked out of the shop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even if you don't buy anything, they're just like, arigato gozaimasu. Yeah, just like so many little interactions we had with different Japanese people, and they were just incredible. Like, we got a taxi from one place to another, and at a red light, the taxi driver just made us a little origami like crane, like out of a bit of card he had.
Yeah,
and he was just like, origami, and then he just like we were like, oh my god, thank you so much. Then we went somewhere to eat in Hiroshima, and we were outside after we'd finished eating, just looking at where we were going next, and the lady like who ran the place on her own just like came running out and was like, oh, I have a gift for you. And it was just like a little Nintendo pack of tissues.
Yeah.
And she said she noticed the like little toad, like Nintendo toad that Carly had on her bag. So cute. And it's just like
gift giving's like a really big thing of their culture as well.
Yeah. It was
in a lot of Asian culture, there's a lot of gift giving.
It was just incredible, man. It was such an insane experience to go out there, like, because we were out there for 4 weeks, me and Carly, and then coincided with you being out there for a week for work, didn't it?
Yeah,
which is so good. But
do you like the toilets?
I like the fact that so I got used to them being warm. At first, I was like, this feels like a sumo wrestler's just had a shit on it for about an hour. And then that took a little while. And then like, after about a week, I finally plucked up the courage to do the little B-Day thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's weird. Like, I can see why it's so normal out there, but I couldn't do it like every time.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Oh, I love it. I couldn't wait to start using it.
It was more like
you open the door in our hotel. You opened the door, and the toilet seat just came up straight away.
Oh, you had a posh hotel then.
Yeah, it was
Well, you stayed in Ginza, didn't you?
Work, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so
Ginza 6.
We stayed in Ginza in the last week, Tokyo.
Yeah,
it's crazy how like we didn't realize it was such a upmarket.
It's like it's like really,
it's like a posh area of Tokyo.
Yeah. It's the same as like when you're in London, right? There's like super posh areas with all of the like, high end clothing stores,
Gucci and
like
Armani, Sergio Giorgini, stuff like that.
You can still find them.
But yeah, it was incredible, man. It was incredible. Did you have fun while you were out there?
Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely love that place, man. And obviously, because I was there for work, we were, there with the local Japanese team and stuff, and they were showing us around loads of nice restaurants and cool
amazing
spots. It was so good.
Yeah, it's just fucking amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely insane. It's hard to eat out there, I would say. Like, not mega hard, because obviously me and Carly are just vegetarian. But we did end up. Yeah, we did. We just ended up using that and basically just going to vegan places most of the time, just because, like, the fucking vegetarian's pretty blurry, isn't it, out there? With kind of.
But they just sort of don't have the concept of it, right? Like,
it's more like pescatarian, isn't it?
Well, they naturally have a lot of like vegetarian and vegan dishes, but they don't really have the concept of being vegetarian or vegan. I think it's changing with like some of the younger generations that are coming through, but I think traditionally they've not really had that. But I noticed there was more like vegan ramen places this time than when I went there before.
Yeah, we didn't really struggle to find places. It was more just they were like a little bit further out the way, if you know what I mean, compared to a lot of other places. Osaka,
I had ramen every day.
Did you?
Every day.
I mean, that place in Harajuku that we both went to on separate occasions was fucking incredible.
That's number 4 on my list, mate.
Number 4, was it?
Yeah. It was great. That's not like a diss in any way to it. But
nah.
I had 3 better than that.
Did you go to T's Tantan?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah. We found a couple of like really decent vegan / vegetarian places that just like you just have ramen, even though it's vegan. It's like this is just so much better than like just the shit you get in the UK. Do you know? I know it's like a really obvious thing to say, but like the broth and like even what they put in there, like
their miso is insane.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's so rich, so flavoursome. Yeah, it was good, man. It was just I'm kind of on just a massive come down now, though.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like I'm
4 weeks, mate.
Still jet lagged now.
Yeah,
like it's been so fucking tough going back
on
to
the other
work
side of
this
the
week.
world.
And yeah, it's like the clocks went back as well, so it's like 9 time zones. It's like 9 hours that we were ahead. But yeah, it was amazing. Have you been playing much? Mate? In the 4 or 5 weeks that
there's a couple of games I've been playing.
Hit me.
I'm a big Balatro boy now.
Yeah.
Big time Balatro boy.
Yes.
I'll save that. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll get the other game out of the way first.
Yeah.
Because I am obsessed with that. I played the Dead Space remake.
Hey, nice, man.
Yeah,
what did you think of it? Yeah.
It's class. It's a really well remade version of an incredible game.
Yeah.
I like replaying it. I think this might be my favourite horror game.
It's definitely up there with like Resi 2 and Resi 4.
It's more horror-y. Yeah, actually, no, Resi 2 is quite horror-y. It's more horror-y than like Resi 4.
It's less
Resi
goofy,
4 is
isn't
more
it?
action.
It's less goofy, I think, than the Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
Like
not
goofy.
Two's not quirky. 2's not that quirky though.
It definitely feels scarier, I would say. Like Resident Evil is obviously terrifying, but I think where you're it really feels like you're fighting to survive in that game.
Yeah, it does.
You know
they nailed it. And I think that like process of having to remove limbs.
Yeah.
It's easy to just like go for the headshot and try and kill like, do you know what I mean? Like you're so used to that. But the mechanic of trying to cut off the limbs so they can't, and they just keep crawling to you even when you're taking their legs off and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
they just use their arms to like scrape across the floor.
Gross and scary.
And it works really well with the weapons as well. It's such like lightning in a bottle, that game, in terms of the gameplay mechanics. You know what I mean? I think for its time, it was ridiculous as well. Like, you know, I always remember that not having a HUD and things like that. Like all the HUD was like
good. Like everything just being on your back.
Yeah, and it was built in. Like you could see the ammo on like the holograph on like the gun.
It used to blow my mind.
It was insane.
Like I'm more used to it now, but it was that was revolutionary at the time.
Especially for like resolutions of that time. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't have done that on like on a standard definition TV. You'd be like squinting at it. Like, how much ammo have I got?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose Halo did it actually on the assault rifle, didn't it? But Dead Space just it's such a solid remake. Like it doesn't change anything really in terms of the narrative and the layout and stuff like Resident Evil 4 does, but it's a stunning looking reimagining of what was already was like a 10 out of 10 game. Yeah, fucking fantastic, man. It's a shame we did a bit of news, didn't we? Like ages ago on an episode where I think I don't think it hit the sales projections. So Dead Space 2 remake's kind of been put on ice at the moment, but fingers crossed that gets made, man, because that's a great game as well.
Yeah, it makes you think like, well, I don't know what it did numbers wise, but it makes you think like, what are the expectations? Yeah. I don't know, like we've moved into a different era of gaming, haven't we? With like the evergreen game, like with battle passes and constant
games
monthly
as a service,
purchases.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And like, what's your expectation for Dead Space?
Also, they've never been more expensive to buy either, because they've never been more expensive to make. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a real shame because it is incredible.
Also, think as well, horror games, if you take Resident Evil out of it, they're never going to sell like
A lot of people
like an
don't
action
like playing
game.
horror
Do you know what I
games.
mean? Yeah, exactly. A lot of people just watch
hate
them,
it.
don't they, on stream, and because they don't want they just don't like the being scared. Really, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame, man. Hopefully they'll do the second one as well. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's hard not to like, isn't it?
It's just really good.
Fucking atmosphere,
just
mate.
stellar.
In the game. Yeah, Interstellar.
It is Interstellar, mate. It bloody well is.
Yeah.
Anyway, Balattro's great.
Balattro's good, isn't it?
Oh my god, that got its fucking teeth in me.
I knew it would.
I bought it twice.
I knew it would. Yeah. You got
I've
it
got
on
it on
Switch
Steam and I've got it on Switch.
Yeah. Finally, I'm surprised you didn't get it on mobile.
My phone's like 8 years old. Getting a new one next week.
Get Balatro on it. Then you'll have it. Then you'll have it thrice.
Wow, 4 times actually, because they put it in Dave the Diver as well now.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I love that's so good, isn't it? It's such a good collaboration.
Yeah.
So you got stuck into it then?
Yeah. Big time. Done
Yeah.
a full run. Well, I say I've done a full run. We've collectively done a full run, but mostly Amelia on the Switch.
Yeah. Right. Okay. What, like every deck?
No, like every chip on one of the decks. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
It's the deck that makes all of your suits. Like it's 2 suits, right? So it's basically black cards, red cards.
Yeah.
Instead of 4 suits.
Yeah. So it's like all hearts and all diamonds, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a good one.
It's honestly, it's so addictive. It's got such a good loop of trying to get the right jokers. Like I've just got to the point now where I've got strategies. Like obviously when you're using that deck, like it's just a flush run, right? You're just trying to get a flush run.
Yeah.
Big fan of a 2-pair full house run,
mate. 2-pair.
2-pair full
Two
house.
pair runs were my like bread and butter for like the first like 5 or 6 hours I played that.
Because you can get the jokers that are like ×2 multi if your hand contains a pair, ×3 multi if it contains a 3 of a kind, and then you can get like a times whatever multi for a full house. And then if you're just playing 2 pairs full houses like every turn, you just get mad multis,
mate. And I think there's a joker that's just like every time you play a 2-pair, it adds a +1 mult on it.
Yeah.
So if you get that in like the first
doors.
blind, you're just laughing because you just play every blind without skipping one, and just bash out 2 pairs, and it's like by the end of it you've got like a +30 mult or like 35 mult, something stupid like that.
I had $1 million hand the other day.
I've done it once, and that's the only time I've done. I don't even know how. I think I just absolutely landed. Just because when you get the negative jokers as well, you get good negative jokers, and you end up with like 8 jokers. It's fucking
and they're
insane,
all just
triggering.
Triggering everything. Like I was playing it the other day, and it was quite fun because I did like the opposite style of run, and I basically only had enhanced cards in my deck. So basically every card I was playing was doing something.
Yeah.
And then, like, that was what was driving a lot of my score. And the jokers were just like there. I had a lot of those jokers that were like, every time you play a hand, upgrade it.
Yeah.
Or like straights can be made with gaps in between them. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can do 1,
2,
3,
4, 6.
5. Like, so like those things, I don't know, like you can really create different types of runs as you go through it.
Yeah.
Like it's weird, like because I've been playing it with Amelia, like watching how we both play it, and a lot of what we do is like super similar. But like for example, I love the spectral packs.
Yeah.
But she's never keen on them because sometimes they go wrong for you, don't they?
They can do, yeah.
It'll be like, oh, you'll have one that like you'll have 5 jokers and you'll be happy with like 3 of them, and it'll be like create a rare joker and destroy all other jokers.
Yeah,
no, I don't want to do that.
No, I'm not doing that. It's suicide on this run.
Yeah. So like it's just fun, man. It's definitely a game that I would, out of the formats I've played it, I'd recommend it on the Switch. It's really good with the touchscreen.
Yeah, so I've only played it on phone, and I couldn't imagine playing it with like a mouse.
It's way better playing it touchscreen.
Just being able to move the cards around and just pick. It's fucking seamless.
It's really good on the Switch.
Yeah.
Really
I can
good.
imagine because it's a nice big screen. Well, it's a decent sized screen for that sort of game anyway.
Yeah.
Have you got any legendary jokers yet? Have you done those?
Oh yeah, I got a few.
Yeah,
I got a few.
because you get that. I think I can't remember what it's called, but the spectral card, is it like a hex card or something?
Yeah, the
It
hex
gives you
one.
a legendary Joker.
No, that gives you a 1.5 multi, but deletes all other Jokers. But if you have it from the start, you just put it on your first Joker.
It might be a different spectral.
There's another card that gives you a legendary Joker.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of. It's a spectral one, isn't it?
Yeah. I've only had it a couple of times.
I remember when I opened a spectral pack once and first saw the black hole.
Yeah,
which,
and it upgrades
all your hands by like 2 or 3 or something like that. I was like, that's fucking mental. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's so good.
And there's like getting a full house with the same suit is a flush house and things like that. Yeah. It's like a hidden hand that doesn't tell you. You can get there's still a hand I haven't played yet.
Right.
There's still one hand I haven't played yet, and I'm trying to figure out what it might be. 5 of a kind, maybe.
Oh shit! I've never played that.
I don't know if I've played a 5 of a kind, but I'm thinking that could be the only.
Because obviously, like you can, for anyone that's not played it, you open packs to get new cards for your deck, and so like then if you've got Jokers that are like, there's the one that like aces give plus 10 multi and plus 30 chips or whatever, and then you can have another one for like aces. That then you'll just be trying to get as many aces in your deck as possible, and you can convert other cards into aces and stuff like that. So like you haven't got 4 aces in your whole deck. You could end up having a deck of 52 aces. Yeah,
potentially, yeah. And then it's insane.
I've not done it, but I don't know how feasible that is, but.
No, you'd have to do a big old run, wouldn't you, to get... I mean, I've ended up with, like 8 or 9 of the same card, probably, like 8 or 9 kings. Like, I quite like playing face cards as well. Like, quite often do, like, a face card run.
Yeah.
But then sometimes
you just don't get the Jokers you need.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get the Jokers.
Especially on those later chips, like the ante goes up faster, you don't get your money for the small blind,
things like that. And
it really, like, makes it harder. And you just get to the point on that last chip where you're like, I've started playing it. I haven't got the Jokers I want in the first 2 shots. I'm restarting.
I'm just going to restart because it takes like 5 minutes to get back to like the start of the second round, doesn't it? Because you can, once you've got loads of decent Jokers as well, you can start like skipping the blinds and stuff. And if you skip a blind, there's like a small reward, and it will tell you what the reward is for every blind you skip. But then there'll be some good ones later on, and it'll be like.
Skip it for a negative Joker.
Skip it for a negative Joker, or skip it for a polychrome, or skip and you get like $2 for every blind you've skipped previously. So you can like max, where you can like plump up your wallet.
Yeah.
Loads, and then you can be like, oh sweet, I can buy a load of cards, or I can re-roll the Jokers and see if I can get one that I need. Like, there's so many ways to play it.
Yeah.
And it's so flexible, like, because you can kind of change your strategy, or like if your strategies are lacking in an area, you can be like, right, I'm just gonna I need some more tarot cards or something like that. Yeah.
And you're like, or I need more multis on the cards, or I need more like bonuses on the cards, so I get a higher score.
Yeah,
from the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you want like a decent multiplier at the end. You want to always move that to the end.
Yeah, swap your... Because that's something I didn't do for ages, because I've seen it was triggering first. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, it triggers from left to right. So
it triggers in order.
I move that to the far
Same
right.
Same with the cards that you play.
Yeah. It's just... It's so good, isn't it?
It's really good, man.
It's so simple, like, when you think about it. But it's just incredible. And it's been... We're going to talk about this next week, in the next episode, because it's going to be our Game Awards preview. But it has been nominated for loads of Game Awards. I think I'm still thinking about what my Game of the Year is, but that is definitely
it's up there, mate.
It's definitely in the conversation for me. But yeah,
a couple
fucking
more that
fantastic game.
I want to play, but
yeah. What's that then?
Oh, I bought a game the other day that you should check out. It's I'll send you the link so you can have a look at it.
Yeah, do it.
It's out this year as well. So this is a Game of the Year contender.
Already,
this is a Game of the Year contender. I've just sent it to you on Discord. It's a little game called Shrot.
Oh yeah, no, you sent me this.
And I saw it on sale the other day for £2 on the store.
Based on June, isn't it?
Yeah. It's an old
Oh my
school
god.
action RTS based on Dune. The soundtrack is just like a homemade techno music soundtrack. And
Proper Frank Klepacki.
mate, look at the about section on this game. Free playable stellar clans, randomly generated battles that never play out the same way, base building, mining, large-scale battles lasting hours with hundreds of units and thousands of casualties, voice acting by my mum, Victory, techno soundtrack as the most suitable background, and then it's just a picture of a dinner.
Yeah. It's just fucking well funny. Love it though. I love it. Yeah, it's like proper top-down. Yeah, it looks like Command and Conquer, like the first Command and Conquer, but even earlier, I'd say than that.
Yeah, it looks really early. It's very old school.
It's like a beta of Command and Conquer.
Yeah, but yeah, I saw it for £2 and thought I'm gonna snap that up, give it a go.
Yeah, mate. Let me know what that's like. Let me know what it's like because it looks great. I mean, any RTS. I'm still waiting for fucking Tempest Rising, but they just don't want to. They don't want to drop that release date yet. You been playing anything else?
No, that's about it really for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
Obviously not a lot because I've been away, but I did start Echoes of Wisdom, Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, I saw that.
On the plane on the way out, and sort of a little bit while we were there in the hotel in the evening. Some nights, I am not keen on it.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
the Zelda simp is not keen on it.
I know. Yeah, I'm not massive on it, man. I've played it for about 4 hours, and I think I'm done with it. Sadly,
Why?
It's so the main reason, and bear in mind it's had really good reviews, and I think the things it does really well.
Yeah.
The puzzles are great. Visually, it's great. Obviously, the soundtrack's great. It's polished. It's the main issue I have with it is the combat. So you don't actually engage in combat directly. It's basically you summon enemies. That every time you kill an new enemy, you can like absorb its kind of summon.
Sounds like something I'd like.
And that goes for like inanimate objects as well. So some inanimate objects you can like absorb as well, which is how you do the puzzles and stuff. So it's kind of got that Tears of the Kingdom style.
Yeah.
Play it how you like. How did you get over this puzzle? Well, I combined the bed with the fucking teapot or whatever and climbed up on it. The problem I have with it is that the enemies, or like the enemies you absorb who you summon to fight for you, are just kind of like pretty weak and don't really do a lot of damage. So you end up just kind of spamming the same sort of 2 or 3 enemies you've summoned like over and over to fight this one sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you just sort of end up running away from the enemy and just summoning in your minions all the time, and it's like it just gets a bit boring for me personally. I can see what they're doing with it.
It's like the pet class on an MMO.
Yeah, it's just or like the Necromancer on Diablo. It's just like I'm not actually directly engaging in combat here.
Yeah, sounds great.
I'm letting someone else do it. You might really like it.
Don't know what you're complaining about.
But it
sounds like the best Zelda game that they've ever made.
Well, let's not be hasty. But yeah, I can't get on with it. I think the puzzles are great in it. The 2 or 3 dungeons that I did do were good, but I just find myself a bit bored, like in between. Do you know what I mean? Like very, very minor spoilers. So for anyone that's not played it, who is going to play it, just skip forward like a minute. You can turn into Link for like a short period until like your magic bar depletes.
Yep.
And then it plays like an old school top down Zelda, and I'm like, yeah, this is wicked. I've got a shield, a bow and arrow, a sword. And then it runs out, and you're like, I'm back to summoning just fucking minions. So you end up just sort of saving that for boss fights. But I just couldn't get on with it, man. I couldn't get on with it.
Fair enough.
So I went on to the Switch store,
refunded it,
and just begged for a refund. Now I managed to get Owlboy and Oxenfree 2 for under a tenner for both of them. So I started playing Owlboy, and it's great. It's great. It's just like a little pixel art platformer. It's really, really cool. I haven't started Oxenfree 2 yet, but I just got it because it was like £3, and I've not played it yet.
Nice.
I started Silent Hill 2 on Friday when I got back from Japan, and I was so tired. I managed about 45 minutes, and I haven't played it since because I've just been fucking knackered. But really good so far what I've played of it. That's about it, really, mate. That's about it. I haven't played much. I had like about an hour on Rocket League with Charlie the other night. Just trying to stay awake basically in the evening. But yeah, once I'm over this jet lag, I'll be back on it. Tell you what I did get in Japan for like 20 quid was Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Got a Japanese copy of it.
Yeah.
Works fine on Switch. They're not region locked.
Yeah, they're not region locked anymore.
Yeah. Which is fucking awesome because I've got the proper Japanese cartridge, Japanese box, brand new. 20
That's
quid.
so good.
And I did get one last thing. I got a Japanese copy of Chrono Trigger on SNES.
Of course you did.
Yeah, with the manual. With the manual, there's a little blemish on the box, but other than that, she's perfect, mate. She's perfect. Yeah. Wanted one of those for ages.
Nice. I bet you were well happy when you found that.
Yeah.
Where did you find that? Akihabara?
I did find it in Akihabara, yeah. No, it was, yeah. We went to a really cool place in Osaka called Den Town, which was like very, very similar to Akihabara, but managed to get Ross a couple of games. Well, a game that he was looking for there. It was like 140 quid. I was like,
Jesus Christ.
You pay me for that then, mate. But yeah, that's it, mate. That's it.
How can he moan at... I'm sorry, just sidebar on that.
Yeah, sorry.
How can he moan at me about Counter-Strike skins when he's buying 140 quid games from the 90s?
I don't know. Yeah, Rainbow Islands, something or other in...
Email in, Ross, justify yourself.
Yeah, he'll come on probably. He'll come on and talk about retro games.
Grill him live.
Yeah, grill him live. Roast.
We'll do it live.
We'll do a roast. Yeah, that's all I played really. So not a great deal, but been in Japan, haven't I? So
yeah, the land of gaming.
The land of gaming, indeed. Ironically, I did no gaming in really. Right, this week we're just gonna do a bit of news. Just have a little catch up on news.
I mean, we've done about 40 minutes on Japan, so
yeah. No main topic, no fortnightly feature. We're just gonna have a little chat about the news, and then we're gonna call it because. I'm still tired. I'm still tired. You're lucky this is going out, to be honest.
Play that bloody jingle.
Switch 2. Backwards compatible then, is it?
Oh yeah, that's great. Well happy about that.
Is that a surprise, do you reckon?
I mean, we talked about this a little bit before, I think. It's weird when it's weird because they don't tend to have like the same console time and again, right? Like the fact that it was called Switch 2 sort of implied a little bit that it was going to be backwards compatible. Because it's not like every console they release is like PS1, PS2, PS3. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not. It's very. Usually, it's very different each time, isn't it?
Yeah.
A Nintendo console.
But I am really happy to hear that because it makes me more inclined to get a Switch 2 earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Knowing I can still just transfer everything over.
Yeah, and I think to piggyback off that, it makes me more inclined to buy Switch games still.
Yeah.
Because I know that I can just play them on the Switch 2. So even if I don't play Kirby for 5-6 months, I've got it. I got it cheap, obviously. And I know that I can just play that on the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which is
definitely
nice. Which is nice. I think that kind of almost solidifies the fact that they're going to be the same cartridges as well.
Mm.
Unless there's a slot for Switch games and a slot for Switch 2 games, I can't really see that. Or it might come with like an adapter or something.
I do like a Switch cartridge.
Yeah, I mean, they're expensive, but they're just nice, aren't they?
Nice small little case as well.
Aesthetically pleasing, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm into
easy to just tuck in your little Switch case and...
You get some cool like limited run ones as well. I got that cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one that looks like a VHS.
Oh, the Shredder's Revenge one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wicked. But yeah, very, very happy to hear that. Nice little surprise bit of news. The big bit of news really is Shadow of the Erdtree will be eligible for Game of the Year. I was gonna drop this in next week, when we do the Game of the Year thing, but I thought, well, it dropped this week, so we might as well just have a quick chat about it.
Bollocks, mate.
Well, next week we're going to do the nominations, so we can maybe...
Well, it's not in mine.
we can talk about it a little bit more then. However, just, glossing over it very quickly, it was everywhere, but this is just from Forbes. First paragraph is, a controversial rule means that the Game Awards will let DLCs and expansions for existing games be nominated for Game of the Year as of this next show in December.
Well, that's Game of the Year ruined then. It's not Game of the Year, is it?
The fact that this is now being highlighted seems like no coincidence, given that Elden Ring's massive Shadow of the Erdtree expansion is one of the highest scored, most beloved releases of the year. But is it a game?
We should give...
It definitely is a game.
My vote for Game of the Year is Gladiator
2. Yeah. It's still a game.
It's film.
Well, Shadow of the Erdtree is still a game. It's still a video game someone's made.
Not in itself. It's
not in its own self.
No, because if you don't have Elden Ring,
yeah, I know.
You won't be able to play Shadow of the Erdtree. So it's not a game.
We're on the same page here. No, but it's demonstrably a game. But I get what you're saying. You need, yeah.
DLC of the year. Great, fine.
No problem.
Have that.
No problem.
Have that title. You're more than welcome to it. You deserve it.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I think the fact that...
So Elden Ring's getting 2 Game of the Years? That's mental. What do you mean? They're going to put Fortnite in it next year. I'm going to be fuming. We're not doing episodes on Game Awards anymore. We're scrapping that.
Well, we got to do the next one. We got to do the next one.
It's nonsense.
It is fucking mental. We'll talk about it a little bit more next week. But you're right. It's not a standalone. You can't purchase Shadow of the Erdtree on its own and play it. So I don't see why it should be nominated for Game of the Year. I think like you said, have your own category, DLC/expansion of the year, which it would absolutely win, hands down. Of course it would, because it is like a fucking whole game in its own. But you can't play it without Elden Ring, which is 50 quid. So it shouldn't be allowed, in my opinion.
I mean, we complained about it before, about who's making these decisions. What are the rules? And actually, they made some change. It's like they made changes last time afterwards that we were like, oh yeah, they're sort of heading, they're listening. And then they go and drop this
swizz.
What is it? What are we doing?
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird. I think it's phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal.
It's not.
It's huge.
No shade on Shadow of the Erdtree. They didn't put themselves forward for Game of the Year, did they?
And it is enormous. The fact that it is DLC is insane, really, because it is enormous. It is almost like a sequel, like a small sequel. However, you can't play it on its own, so I don't think that should be allowed. But
we should have talked about this last, because I'm just going to be grumpy for the rest of them now.
It'd be all right. Don't worry about it, mate. And well, fucking God knows what you're going to be like next week then, when we do the actual episode on the Game Awards. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater turned 20 the other day, yesterday or the day before. Got to get that release date, haven't we? Got to still younger than I am.
Yeah.
Got to get that release date soon, haven't we? Why are they not releasing the release date yet? Saving it for the Game Awards, aren't they? Saving it for the Game Awards. That's mental, man. 20 years. I actually felt genuinely not old, but when people say, "Oh God, I feel old," I felt like that, man. Like, me and Robbie used to play this on PS2, and we used to just sit and get stoned and play Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and then I fucking found out it's 20 years old, and I was like, "Oh God."
We're not young anymore, mate.
Sad, isn't it? Sad.
Fucking Phantom Pain's nearly 10 years old, mate.
Fucking hell. That's 2015, isn't it? Phantom Pain? That's ridiculous. What a great game. But yeah, hopefully we'll get the release date soon. Fingers crossed. Otherwise it'll be fucking 20 years before we get the actual remake.
Yeah, it's going out in 2035.
Yeah. What we got next? Atomfall, which is basically Fallout in England. Has got release date now. Well, release window of March 2025. This looks really good.
It does look cool, doesn't it?
for someone who's not a big fan of Fallout, I'm actually quite into this. Not just because it's set in England, but I think
it's a bit more like survivally than Fallout, I think.
It looks more survival horror, I think. Than,
less RPG, more survival.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That was announced this year and it's got a release date already. Hopefully, it looks like quite a small studio, so I hope it's.
It's Rebellion, though, isn't it? Published by Rebellion.
Published, right?
Published by Rebellion. Oh no, developed by him as well. So.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Next,
smashed it. Next, we've got something which I didn't even know was a thing. Splinter Cell movie is dead.
What a shame.
What a shame. I didn't even fucking know this was coming out.
Tom Hardy
I didn't
as
even
well.
know this was... Yeah. Got an article here from CBR. Couldn't get it right, apparently. Tom Hardy's long gestating video game adaptation is officially dead. Several years before the video game movie boom of recent years, Tom Hardy could have helped lead the way with one adaptation that didn't end up seeing the light of day. More than a decade ago, Hardy was set to lead a Splinter Cell feature film based on the game, but it's been confirmed that this has never ended up happening. To paraphrase, the producer Basil Iwanick said, "That movie would have been awesome. Just couldn't get it right, script-wise, budget-wise, but it was going to be great. We had a million different versions of it, but it was going to be hardcore and awesome." That's one of the ones that got away, which is really sad.
Sounds like you really didn't refine your ideas if you had a million of them.
I was thinking that. It seems a bit kind of like all over the place, that quote.
Didn't
almost like he's
didn't feel like you're
up.
very far down the line in the storyboarding of that.
No, it's like I just couldn't get it right. It's like, but you said it was going to be great. You said it was going to be hardcore and awesome, but I don't know. Just like make a
lot of buzzwords.
Cool spy film, right?
Yeah. Who wrote that article?
People do it. Who wrote the article?
Yeah,
Jeremy Dick.
Oh right, yeah, thanks.
From CBR. But the quote was from Basil Iwanick, who was the producer. So that's no slight on Jeremy. He's just writing the words that Basil said.
Cheers, Baz.
Cheers, Baz. It's a shame. I mean, they won't even make a new fucking Splinter Cell game, let alone make a movie.
Don't like Splinter Cell. I never got on with it. I'm not a big stealthy guy. I'm more of a chainsaw on the end of your Lancer guy.
I fucking love Splinter Cell. First three, yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
absolutely
I love Gears of
excellent.
War 2.
Yeah, you like both. You don't mind a stealthy game. You play.
I don't mind it. Yeah, I love Phantom Pain. But then Phantom Pain, you can just go in with rocket
launcher.
You
stealthy on? Yeah, I was going to say, you were definitely on the mech, like with the rocket launcher.
Yeah,
no, like going straight through the gate.
I was stealthy for a bit.
And then you'd just be like,
and then I unlocked the mech
and
I was like, oh, right, I'm just going to do that now.
Yeah, fucking get rid of the dog, get rid of the
horse. As soon as I stopped using the dog, I stopped being stealthy.
Yeah. The dog makes it pretty easy to be stealthy, though, to be fair. Oh, what a game. Mass Effect's getting a TV show.
Oh, yeah, I
Prime.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Which I'm quite excited about, man, because I think they should definitely, if they're going to do a live action adaptation of that, a TV show would work a lot better than a film, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with that.
That game is very heavily based on its characters and your investment in those characters, and I just don't think a film is going to give you enough time to get invested in multiple characters.
I hope they use like physical prosthetics and stuff for the aliens instead of CGI.
Yeah, I said that exact thing to my mate who I work with, because he's a big Mass Effect fan. We were chatting about it. If they use CGI for like Garrus and like Mordin and stuff like that,
I just don't care.
It's just, please don't do that. Like, I get they need to use a little bit, but don't make them entirely CG. Like, I've seen prosthetics in movies.
I've seen Jurassic Park, mate.
Yeah,
it looks wicked still.
Star Wars.
The sick Triceratops in Jurassic Park still looks wicked.
Yeah, exactly. It's doable. Don't use CGI. Don't cane all your budget on CGI. Save that for like the Reapers, mate, and like the space battles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To be honest, though, like I'd quite like the first season to just kind of be setting it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of like them in the Citadel, and like, like not really political, but like some of the politics that come with like the aliens and like how the humans are how there's never been a human Spectre and stuff. I'd like them to lean into that a lot, and maybe a bit of backstory of like Shepard, and then like second season there can be like, you know, the start of the Reapers.
Are they going to get the matey from Lost to play Shepard?
He does look like him, doesn't he? He
Jack
does
from
look
Lost.
Yeah,
Matthew Fox.
Kate, we gotta go back, Kate. Yeah, he would be a great. Well,
We got to go back to the Citadel.
His face would be a great Shepherd, but yeah, I don't know. Who would be a good Shepherd? Who would be a good Shepherd? Jared Butler. Definitely not.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. Trying to think who'd legit be like a good Shepherd. Let's put a pin in that.
The matey who played what's his name in Star Wars the games?
Oh yeah. Fuck, what's his name? He's in
What's
like
his
quite a
name?
lot of. He's in like quite a lot of other movies as well, isn't he? He's in The Mist.
Yeah, he is in
He's
the
one
Mist.
of the soldiers in The Mist. The one that
Yeah,
gets
he
stabbed
is in
up.
the Mist. Sam Witwer.
Oh yeah, Sam Witwer. Yeah, he'd be a
Sam
good
Witwer.
Shepherd.
He'd be decent.
Yeah, shit. He's matey from Days Gone as well, isn't he? Deacon from Days
Yeah,
Gone.
yeah.
I could see that. That'd be pretty good. Let us know who you think should play Shepard in the Mass Effect movie. Hey, they reflect gmail.com. Right, last bit of news then before we wrap up is a bit of a big one actually. Sony is reportedly in talks to buy From Software's parent company, Kadokawa.
Yeah.
Which would be huge if true.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay. Do you want to divulge on that then?
I think FromSoft have got a very good thing going. They dodged all of the redundancies through the redundancy thing.
Because they're a Japanese company.
Yeah, but I mean, there was Japanese companies that definitely like went under and stuff. But like they handled it very well. They very publicly stated that they weren't going to sort of like sacrifice members of the company for essentially profit.
Yeah.
They had record years of profit whilst doing that. They've made consistently game of the year level quality games.
Yeah.
And I just fear that somebody like Sony buying them would just try and have input in the formula. And
do you reckon?
They're like, I don't know, I think like you might end up seeing, there's pressure to do like Dark Souls 4 or like, you know, those sorts of things.
Bloodborne
like,
2, I think, is going to be
just let them
the one, wouldn't it?
Let them cook. They know what they're fucking doing. They smash it out of the park religiously. Don't touch it. It's not broken. Like I wouldn't, if Sony bought it and just went, just carry on. Like we're not doing anything. We just want the money.
Yeah, so I think that's what they probably would do. If I'm honest, I totally get your reservations for it because it's like big corporate company coming in to, you know, take over and try and steer the ship when the ship's been sailing in like the right direction at like top speed basically since
the
Dark
ship is
Souls
flying.
Yeah, but somehow it's absolutely flying. I think though you do have to respect the fact that Sony quite often, more often than not, they don't often drop the ball on this, but they do let their first party studios
do what they want,
take the time to make the best possible version of the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm sure there are exceptions to that.
There
I
are
can't
definitely
think of at the moment, but
what about the Last of Us online thing? Was that Sony pressure? Was that anything to do with that?
Well, that never got made, did it?
Well, that's what I mean. Did it not get made because of that?
I don't know. I couldn't give you an honest answer on that.
I don't know either, but
I've
there's
said it
definitely
before.
going to be examples of it. It's like
yeah, of course. Like no company's completely perfect.
Monkey in a
regard,
typewriter.
you know?
Like enough time, it will happen.
Yeah, of course. I guess you could say Concord potentially. They brought that studio and then pushed that game out, and maybe the game wasn't really good enough. But that's just a recent example. I mean, like, look at their first parties. Like, Ghost of Tsushima 2's only just been announced. Like, there's been no rush to push that out. Naughty Dog haven't done anything for like 4 years.
My fear doesn't come
like,
so much from Sony's track record. My fear comes more from
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You're treading on sacred ground.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like don't this party doesn't need any more people.
Nah. Yeah,
it's a really good party. Let's not ruin it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And they're in talks to buy their parent company. So Kadokawa is the parent company. So maybe it's just going to be a case of, look, we're going to buy you out. Here's a fat chunk of money. Carry on operating in exactly the same way that you operate already. We're not going to pressure you to put the game out because you're, like you said, your track record's immaculate. You literally make every game you make is basically game of the year. You know, I don't actually have the stats on that, but I'm pretty sure. I think Sekiro was game of the year. I think Bloodborne was game of the year. Elden Ring's game. Like, this is not these are not shit games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they are, like you said, they are consistently fucking brilliant, whether you like them or not. Like, you know, they do make exceptional, really unique video games as well.
Yeah.
And I think Sony would be fucking dumbasses to come in and
mess with it.
The only thing that might push them is maybe Bloodborne 2. But equally, I'd be happy if Miyazaki was like, I don't want to make Bloodborne 2. There is no sequel to Bloodborne 2 because I would just be forcing it if I was going to make a sequel. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to make a new IP.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy with.
Exactly. Just let him cook.
Let him cook. We'll see what happens. That is reported, so it's not actually official, but there's quite a lot of news.
I did see another article that said Kadokawa had confirmed it.
Right, okay. So there's talks. There's talks of it happening.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we had a quick round-up news. Obviously, Game Awards it's 12th of December, Game Awards, so the next episode will be our little preview of that.
Yeah.
We'll have some predictions. We'll get back doing the fortnightly features, so we'll have the December lineup. A lot of games coming out at the moment. A lot of games coming out as well. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to reflect in 2025 as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, baby.
It's been good. Like I said, no main topic this week. No fortnightly feature. This is just a little catch up, just to get the podcast juices flowing again.
Yeah, get the blood pumping.
Mainly for me and Connell, not for anyone listening. So sorry about
No one's
that.
listening.
No one's listening anyway. If you are listening, heythereflect@gmail.com. If you want to send us an email, same as X or Instagram. We are going to set up a little Blue Skies account.
Oh, yeah.
Because X is fucking dumpster fire. Anything else? Any what have you got out, mate? What have you had out? It's been like 5-6 weeks.
Hasn't it? Yeah, so we got one coming out for you this week. But we've had a couple of releases since we've been away.
Yeah.
So most recently we had Rocket League Love Tap, Baby Love Tap. I
watched that a couple of days ago.
And that was a compilation of lots of me bumping into you whilst you're trying to play the game, which is quite fun. Just give you a little love tap.
Self-sabotaging your own teammates.
Yeah. That's how I play most games, to be honest.
To be fair, that is you in a nutshell.
Yeah. And then just before that, we had a video come out that had upwards of 400 views.
Hey, Counter-Strike.
No, it's making 0% progress in Elden Ring.
Oh, yes. Love it.
Me and you playing Elden Ring, and we spent it's an 11-minute video, but we spent about an hour and a half.
Making no progress.
Making literally zero progress because we were trying to get into the castle, and then like an hour and a half later, we found out, you have to kill Renala before you can do that.
Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah, was this the Radahn one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it ends and it's like, oh, fucking hell, should we just go and kill Renala?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, excellent. Which leads on nicely to this week's video. This week we have Red Wolf Radagon and Renala of the Full Moon.
Nice. Double boss episode.
Double boss episode. And there's a little picture of my character.
Excellent.
As the thumbnail, which is worth looking at it just for that.
Just look at the thumbnail. And then watch the video to see.
And then just click like.
Yeah.
If I get more likes than views on the video, then I've succeeded.
Yeah. Then we
so
know.
Don't let it play. You
then
gotta click.
Then we know people are listening to the podcast as well. Excellent stuff, mate. Love it. Well, that'll do us this week. Little nice, easy one to get us eased back in. Next week, we'll have a lovely, chunky Game Awards episode.
Yeah. Or we'll have another guessy game soon.
Oh, yes. Can't wait. Yeah. It's going to be a good one. But yeah, that'll do us. So thanks for listening, everyone. And thanks, as always, for joining, Con.
You're most welcome.
And we'll see you all in episode 68.
I'm going to make like a bakery truck and haul buns.